So you're making a midline, and then you're trying to create a parallelogram by cutting long corners from here and here, and short, a little bit short from here and here. Okay. So transfer the line to the other side. Transfer this line to this side. So you're going to reduce this portion. Right now, try to keep it straight. Do not try to create any convergence. So in here, it will be difficult to cut. So what you do is like use the tip, cut off, and then it will be easy to slide your carver. And you can alternate the movements. Like you can cut vertically and also like horizontally. Horizontally and then vertically. Do that. You have made a small slope for this side. Okay. Same thing for this side also. Transfer the middle line. Transfer this line here. We're going to reduce from here. Slightly break the corner. And then cut up. So you have something like a parallelogram. Try to keep it as bulky as possible, so we have a lot of wax left behind to do some corrections. This and this, and then now we have to round the corners, all the 4 corners. Even this is sharper. Make some roundations. After this, like you see a lot of lines, scratch lines from the carver. Do not just leave them just like that. Use a polishing cloth and then try to polish it to clearly see what is the shape that you have carved. Okay, now we have something like a parallelogram. The line is not matching, but it's not really very important. Then again, like flatten out. Now you can see it's like a parallelogram. Mark the midline. If you notice, like in this corner, like I made a bit more reduction. So if I want to use this side as the largest cusp, it might be a little bit difficult. So this corner is a bit more bigger. So I turn my block around and I will use this side as the palatal side. Now I will mark it palatal side and then buccal side. Okay. Now the palatal cusps from here to here, the distal cusp is a little bit smaller. So you are dividing it unequally, like one of them really large and the other one as small as possible. From the other side, you are dividing it like this, equally. There is something that you also have to keep in mind, that we need a lot of surface for the palatal half of the tooth. So instead of keeping this line exactly in the middle, like I showed in the demonstration, like I said in the midline, that was just an oversimplification. So if you want to be even more better, like you take the line a little bit towards the buccal side and then divide it like this. So if you see, like it is obvious that this point of this portion of the tooth is bigger, the mesiopalatal. Okay. Now we create the slopes. You can create the slopes like this, like this slope is for the buccal half, leaving the buccal side, the buccal surface tall, and you go in like this. So you have to use the carver like this, the back side of the carver, and then you keep scratching at an angle. Keep it at an angle. Do not keep it straight. You have to keep it at an angle and keep scratching. You will have a groove. Make it smooth and neat. Use a polishing cloth. Clear it up. The same thing for the other side. Create a slope. Okay. Now if you see, like the palatal half is a little bit more wider and the buccal half is a little bit less. Now what we have to do, like just approximately measure how much is there for the buccal half and then draw a line which is about the same distance. You understand? This same distance here, and then leave a little bit wax outside, the extra wax. This extra wax area has to be beveled again from outside. Okay, we missed this step during the demonstration. Okay. So making a bevel here. So the tooth actually looks like 3 slopes. One slope from the buccal cusp, and the palatal cusp will have one slope, and there is also another slope which is on the palatal surface of the tooth. Okay. Now we can divide the cusps. Palatal cusp with one side a little bit larger and the buccal side a little bit equal size. Okay. Now we will start creating the notch. Let's make a notch for the buccal side. You can also actually like slightly bevel all the corners. Don't leave them straight. You can slightly bevel all the corners, like creating a small convergence from all the sides. Even from the proximal side. The bevel on the palatal surface will be a bit more wider. Okay. Can you see like it's almost starting to look like the shape that we want. Make all of the borders a little bit more smooth. Use a polishing cloth. Make all of them blend. Don't keep anything sharp. You can blend, not so blend, just a little bit. Okay. Now you can start carving the slopes for the cusps, and also you can draw the triangles. So triangles are usually like from the outside you make a small point about 1 to 2 millimeters, and then you connect them. The same technique as the premolar. Okay. So make a dot and then extend them out like to mark the triangle. Even here you will have a triangle. Make a dot and then make a line. So the outline and then basic shaping is complete. Now mark the cusp ridge area. So for this cusp, the ridge is going to, the cusp tip is going to be somewhere here, not exactly in the corner, a little bit inside the corner. It won't be exactly in the corner. Like the cusp tips are not in the corners, so they're actually like little bit. See the cusp tip? Cusp tip is not in the corner. It is a little bit inside the corner. So do not carve the cusp tip from the corner. Just a little here. Then it continues to the other side. Okay. So we have a separation here. Now we will try to carve this slope, the slope for the mesopalatal cusp. The first slope will be closer to the triangular ridge. It's the same like the premolar. We create slopes for the premolar cusp. Do this. And for this cusp. This slope for this cusp. So the idea is like we are trying to isolate the triangle from one side. You can actually break from outside also a little bit. No need to worry about the corner. The corner actually should be rounded, so you can come out breaking through the corner to continue the slope. Same thing here. And you can break the corner. You can, if you round the corner, automatically like the cusp tip transports to the inside. It won't be in the corner. So if you're not comfortable, just first round the corners and then you can start carving the slopes. That will also help. After this, the same technique. Use the back side. Scoop out the wax from the triangle. And this line continues, and don't try to finish the cusp completely. Okay, just stop here and then try to go to the buccal side and create a notch here for the buccal groove from this side and from this side. Small notch, and then make cusp slopes for this cusp. Start from the groove from outside, carve from outside the buccal surface. Also create a slope on the outline also. Can you see the slope outline? And then take the outline inside and then turn it around, like it comes in and then it curves around and it goes up on the triangle. Okay, it's a continuous one. Okay. Goes up. Can you see the cusp outlined? We have a ridge, we have two slopes. You can further like use the back side and make some nice distinction between the slopes and the cusp. Okay, so one of the cusp is done. One of the triangle is done, and one slope for the parallel cusp is done. So now what we do, we will make this one. So this is continuous with this one. So you stopped here, then go back to the opposite side. Also now breaking the sides to create the slope on the outline also. Now you need to make some effort, like by gliding the carve from here and then like a continuous glide to the other cusp. We are focusing on not removing too much from between the cusps. We're only focusing on creating the slopes. The slope goes down here, comes in, and then comes out like this. So every time you carve one side, you also have to carve a little bit on the opposite side to make it smooth, and we want the lines to be clearly visible. We don't want something overlapping. Okay, you can use the Skool. If you notice something, the triangle is too large, it won't be that large, so it can be made to appear smaller by converging the outline. Like you make more roundation on the outline, and here it will start to appear, it starts becoming smaller in size. Okay. So this slope is done. Try to also like carve from the outside. Use the back side of the current if it is sharp. Okay. And here. Now we start doing this portion of the tooth. Almost like one diagonal is finished. Like we finished one diagonal. We cut completely on this side. One slope for this, one slope for this. The same thing now we will do it for this side. We'll start with this one. We'll try to dig in a little bit deeper. Now if you see, like this cusp is also almost done. After I made this slope, this cusp is also done. Now I make slope for this one. See how I leave the wax connected with each other. You should never try to run across like this. You're always running from one slope to another slope, and then one slope to another slope. You're never going across. If you go across, the ridge is gone. You cannot have it. Even once or twice, the ridge will be gone. You should always focus on coming and sliding on the same side of the diagonal. Okay, so now 3 cusps are done. We need to refine this one, so we can trying to outline the triangle. Just focus on outlining the triangle. Okay, triangle is outlined, but before doing anything for the triangle, make sure that this cusp is also having slopes. Make 2 slopes, 2 small slopes. See, it's almost done. And then use the back side. Scoop out like the same technique as the premolar. Leave a small bit on the outside. Scoop only on the inside, and you'll have your triangle. Again, you can redefine the outlines. Carve the slopes, make them smooth. Take it out and then bring it down as a groove on the outside. glide from here and then now making some refinements, symmetry and whatever you think is going to make it look nice. Making all the slopes smoother without any lines. This brush is a little bit hard. It's making it, instead of smoothing it, it's scratching the block. It's almost done. I'm just making the slopes smoother and more clear. More roundation. Now don't round too much from here because we have to create the fifth cusp. So after you finished approximately all the grooves, fossa and everything, now you can start carving the fifth cusp. Fifth cusp is like, the outline is something like this. It will be about like 3 to 4 millimeters below the occlusal surface. Make an outline. Try to carve outside the outline, same like the triangle. Okay, do not keep the carver like this and then do not try to do like this. So let's keep the carver above the line, above the prominence that we want to create. It's like one step up and then one step down on the other side, like a small arrowhead or something like that. Should be enough. Now let's start elongating the tooth. I'm not creating constriction, I'm just trying to increase the height of the crown, okay, without converging it right now. I'll just try to just make it as long as possible, and then we'll try to look at the cervical line. If you see the outline, the buccal surface should be like one thing. This one will have a bit more slanting towards the occlusal surface. Like here, see this one, it's more rounded from the palatal side. Sorry. Yes. Now keep a finger like this to check the outline of the crown. I mean I think this is buccal side. So this is our buccal side, looking a bit similar. Like you see this, you should see that kind of thing. It should not be just like only the notch. Normally what I see is like many times you're doing like you're having something like this and then something like this. So it should not be like this, it should be like up and then down like this. So this slope is actually like a representation of convergence that you create on the proximal side. So this roundation that you do on the proximal side, that is what will appear as this slope. So it is continuous from other side, like you're doing this roundation, when you do the roundation it will create the slope for this side. Okay. Now the cusps, you can clearly say that this cusp is larger. Then you also have a line which is going across like this. Slightly projecting from above. Okay. So the palatal side of the root, it converges a little bit more because it's a single root. So you can actually create more convergence on the corner, this corner, and also on this corner. This convergence. Okay. It's not perfect. And the cervical line. The crown of the posteriors are usually like a little bit shorter. It's convex, slightly convex on the lingual side. So try to maintain the convexity. And as you go to the proximal side, you can slightly make it like it's slightly concave. And then again the buccal side, it will be a slight bit convex. And the distal side again, slightly concave. Cervical line should always be carved from above the tooth. You should never carve the cervical line like from below the tooth using the tip of the carver. You should not like make something like a digging. You are actually creating a slant in this portion. You are creating a slant in this portion and this portion. And then after you create the slant, you will have a small bit of wax projecting out in all the corners. And you have to remove that excess wax. So you're removing just the excess wax. When you're removing this, use the tip and just cut line by line, like a small line by small line, to keep it more natural. So the cervical line should be there, but it should not be like obviously like with a groove around it. Okay.